Welcome to Global Sassitude, where three women from different parts of the world and different backgrounds talk about everything from business to all topics women. I'm Lisa, and I'm currently located in Sydney. I help women recreate, rise and roar beyond divorce or loss.
Hi, my name is Shirley and I am currently living in New Zealand and I'm a beauty business coach.
I am Pauline and I'm from Singapore and I'm a financial wellness mentor.
Welcome, ladies. Thank you to another episode of Global Sassitude. So today the topic that we have is seasonal change, wellness and productivity hacks. So in Australia at the moment we're sitting in probably the coldest part of the year, end of June to middle of July is. But seasonal change wellness hacks are, I'll share with you what my thoughts are. I always liken the seasonal changes to my roses. I lived on a farm for 25 years and I had this beautiful bed of roses. And during this time of the year, the roses were dormant. So they had their little spent buds were cut off of them and they just sort of sat. And they sat dormant, just waiting for spring to come. But as you would wait for the last frost, and as the last frost was come and gone, then I would cut them right back, so they would be right back to bare. And then as spring come, the leaves would come out, and the little buds would come onto the roses. And so by Christmas or early in the new year, they were in full bloom. And then as summer went on and summer turned into autumn, the full bloom, they'd slow down and they'd come back to where the spent roses would turn into the little buds. So I like to say, align that, I guess the metaphor, seasonal changes as a person. It's the same kind of thing. You can, in Australia anyway, to me, many people I know, we've got winter in Australia. So you kind of lay dormant, and it's not actually laying dormant. It's just being peaceful and having time to reflect on the first part of the year. Yes, it might be snuggled up on the lounge in front of the fireplace, but it's actually like the roses. You're just being dormant, coming up with new ideas and ready for that growth of spring where you burst out and you just come then into, by Christmas, your ideas and thoughts are all coming to like big flowers. So that little story told, I might head over to Shirley. So motivation and productivity, perhaps during this time, and New Zealand would be the same here. Actually, it's worse. It's colder over there. I think that it's much colder over there than here.
Pretty cold.
So how do people in New Zealand stay motivated and productive during this time of the year?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. And even though I can't really speak for other people and I can't really say, what they really do, I know that we've reached the halfway mark, like you've said. And what I would normally do is I would reset and rebuild. And I normally go through this with my team also. I'm very intentional about this because something that happened 2 years ago, I found myself in this halfway mark. And I was so tired and it felt like I was going through a crisis and I couldn't see anymore. I couldn't find my gratitude. And I said to my husband that I want to cry and I just want to lay in bed and I just want to sleep and I just don't want to come out, because it was a terrible time that I was actually going through and nothing caused it. Everything was going like it is every day. And went to the doctor, prescribed antidepressants, medication, and I didn't want to take it, but I started taking it because I really didn't feel well. And then the year after, I felt the same way. And then this year, I felt exactly the same way again. But luckily, because it happened 2 years ago, when it happened last year, I realized the symptoms and I realized what I was going through. So I don't know if you've ever heard of seasonal depression, but when it becomes winter, some people just don't like winter. And I didn't know that I had it so bad, but I have it pretty bad. Like I do not like the winter and I don't like it when it's so cold and I really need the sun and that really brightens me up. But then when we were starting to go towards the middle of this year, I was prepared. I was prepared for what was coming because I knew what happens to my body and what happens to me when we go into June, July and August. And I call it reset and rebuild. And I started this last year. I start to declutter. I start cleaning areas in the house. I clean my phone. I clean everything and I literally just declutter. And that makes me feel lighter somehow. Even when I'm throwing these things out, I start doing this. But I didn't come up with this. I learned this from the people in New Zealand. So not everyone, but there were some people that said to me, you know what, give it a go. Just clean out a shelf. So I put it in I call it a workbook or a workbox toolbox. And I go and sometimes when I don't know what to do or how to do it, I go into that toolbox and I go and grab tools, written tools, stuff that I've put in there that's really helped me in my life. So this is part of the reset in the rebuild. So I always go back. If people ask me any of these type of questions, I say to them, I reset and I rebuild. And then one of the other things that I really love to go and get from that toolbox, because I'm very intentional and I'm very goal orientated. So I'm very intentional with my day, what I want to do, what I want the outcome to be, and how I want it to end and how I want it to be that day. And what is the goal? I have a goal every day. I have a goal basically every hour. What is it that I want to achieve? So I go back, exactly what you've explained, Lisa, is revisit the halfway mark. Did I achieve? Am I close to achieving the main goal for the year? By decluttering and making yourself lighter and doing those things that you normally don't have time to do, because beauty in the beauty industry, and this is all over the world, this is a busy organization. This is a busy, it's always busy. There's never a moment where you can say, okay, no, it's not that busy. We're going to take a break. No, it's always evolving and it's always going. But in winter, there is a moment where we can stop, reset, think, breathe, remember what it is, where you're going, and look at the goals that you have written down for yourself. And is it aligned with your future? Is it aligned with what you've lined up? Is it aligned to the goal that you want to achieve? And then start. If it's not, reset. If it is, then continue building and continue doing what has worked. But if it doesn't, then rebuild. So reset and rebuild.
Yeah, that's a perfect way of putting it, Shirley. And thank you. So how about you, Pauline? How motivated and productive at this time of the year? But I think Singapore, you're not that cold over there, are you? Or is it cold in Singapore right now?
Oh, we wish. We always
No,
cold.
it's easy to hibernate when it's cold. So in Singapore, if there's not that cold, yeah, how do you motivate?
We are the exactly opposite. In Singapore, this period of time is the hottest time of the year. Yeah. So in the southern hemisphere, this is where you are facing like the winter. It's really cooling at probably like between, I don't know, 6 degree to 15 degree around this range. Yeah, plus minus. But for us, it's always between the range in terms of degrees Celsius. All right. It is about like 32 to 35 degrees Celsious.
Send some
Right?
over
It
here.
is really hot. Yeah.
Wow. I would
But the
love
thing
for
is
that temperature.
that it's so hot
We,
and
we, want, we
humid.
want the heat.
Oh my gosh, it's cold here, Pauline. So the
I
other
know.
day it was -8. It was really
What?
cold
It was
on
what?
the
Minus?
-8
Wow, I thought it's a single
outside.
digit, so it's minus. Right. Wow, it is. I've experienced -8 before in South Korea. So and for us is over here. I mean, the good thing about in Singapore, it is always ranging from the range of 24 degrees Celsius to 34 degrees Celsius. Yeah. We never had a change of like seasonal changes. So this topic about seasonal change wellness probably not very suitable, seems like, for Singaporeans. But the thing is this, regardless whether it is an extreme weather, I would say it still apply to us because now we are so global. And many of us with the environmental changes, I think climate does change lately. Is over here, it is whether it is a lot of rain or lesser rain. Yeah. So that's where I would say, how can people stay motivated and productive when it comes to, let's say, in cold versus heat or wet weather versus non-wet weather, which is really bright and shiny. Really, it does affect our mood. I have to admit that. Me, myself, right? Like for Singapore, when it comes to heavy rain, really it's cooling and it's gloomy. It's affect our mood. It's like productivity is always low when it's really gloomy and heavy rain, and we feel like, what do we feel like doing? Like what? Shirley is saying hibernating. Like when it's too cold. I mean, I half the time I'm also staying in the States, more in terms of LA, Santa Monica. And it's cold over there as well when it comes to the winter time and the end of the year. And I really feel like hibernating too. I'm a very active person. I love to exercise. I love outdoors, right? And it does uh, really help in terms of the energy when I go outdoors. Like, for example, just have a walk. I need to do my walk. Like, for example, I clock at least 10,000 steps. And since 1st of July, I tell myself I have a new goal, which is to hit at least 20,000 steps a day. So I tell myself I must do that. And I've been doing that, hitting more than 20,000. So after today's recording, later on, I'm going to start my walk to hit that 20,000 steps. I know it's going to be really hot, but I will still continue to hit that 20,000 steps to make sure that the energy is up. So when the energy is up, the internal energy is up, we feel motivated and we have a clarity of mind. And what I like about when it comes to, because we are talking about a little bit of the productivity hacks, when I do my walks, I love to do my walks on early in the morning, right? And I will, instead of driving to buy a cup of coffee, because the place where I'm staying to the place where I love that cup of coffee, that coffee shop place where I really love the coffee, is a 20 minutes walk. I mean, I can drive there. It will take me like 5 minutes. But if I were to have a choice, I will walk there. So that's my morning walk. Normally every morning, 20 minutes there, get my cup of coffee and 20 minutes back. So that is like 40 minutes of walking. And that 40 minutes, what would I do? Apart from walking to level up first my energy, have some form of an exercise, it is also for the time for me to either do my self-reflection, the start of the day, because it's really good to really walk out by myself, having that gratitude of the day, breathe fresh air. And there are times either I do my own self-reflection early morning or I listen to an audiobook. So
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
yes, that's really good. And you know what? After I get my cup of coffee, I drink that first sip of coffee. Wow. I will tell you, those who love coffee, who are coffee lovers, will say, wow, that's the best part of life, right? So with that cup of coffee, the first sip, and it gets even better. So we are even more motivated to start our day. So of course, for those who are in the cold, extreme cold weather, you might say, but Pauline, I wish I can do that, but I can't really go for what is just too cold. But I think we can do something similar. Maybe you can walk up and down your house for a while. All right, jump a little bit and grab yourself a cup of coffee. I think to start the day. Isn't that great? Yeah.
Thank you, Pauline. So, for the listeners, can I ask where you've gone to your 20,000 steps? Like, is that 40-minute of walk? Is that your 20,000 steps?
Can't hit 20,000 steps.
So,
Yeah.
how many steps is your
General-
40 minutes approximately?
Actually, probably about 5,000 to about 5,000 steps if it's 40 minutes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's about thousands because the other day, me and my kids, we walked for about 20 minutes and I put a challenge on for 5,000 steps. And it was just over 20 minutes that I reached 5,000 steps. And we walk at quite a pace. So, yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people do have their watches and they aim for 10,000 steps. Just so the listeners know, that's kind of where they've got to go to if they're wanting to get the 10,000 steps.
Sorry, and can I just say another thing? So my husband my husband works all over, but that specific day, I put that challenge because I knew he was leaving work at 11:30, so I can walk down for 20 minutes, but I'll drive back with him for the other, coming back. I don't have to walk back. And then he didn't come out. So I had to walk back. And my calves, I couldn't walk for 2 days because I'm very unfit and I'm trying to get fit. But yeah, I was very upset with him.
The universe was looking after you, getting healthy and
was.
motivated. So I'll just share something with you going back to Shirley where you were saying about decluttering your cupboard. It's quite using that. So with one of my pillars that I use for helping women recreate their life, that is actually kind of what I use, and I call it cleaning out the wardrobe. Have you ever, I think most women have done this. And if it's not their clothes wardrobe, it might be the laundry or the pantry. They pull everything out and then go, oh, that was a bad idea to start that. To declutter your wardrobe, and this is a good thing to do mid-year, is to actually pull everything out of your wardrobe. And it's your wardrobe all life. Pull everything out and look at what no longer serves you. You might have a dress or a pair of pants that still fit, but are they serving you? So it's the same with your professional life or your personal life. Sit in that middle year. It's like you clean out you said you were cleaning out your cupboard, but I liken it to a wardrobe. Don't put the shoes back in if they're no longer ones that you can relate to. Don't put them back in. So that's what mid-year, that is where I would go. I call it cleaning out your wardrobe. And then Pauline, with your exercise. So I'm going to Auckland in August and I'm seeing Shirley and -8. I'm going to have to pack my bag.
By that time, luckily by August, it's a little bit warmer. It's just very windy.
I did buy some thermal tights, but with Pauline, where she goes for a walk, I love to go for a walk. I can walk down to the beach. It's stunning. But I also have an app on my phone. It is a Chris Hemsworth. It's called Centre, and I've had it since COVID. And I do yoga. I've got yoga at the moment. They've got a perimenopause, menopause workout specifically for women. So when it's gloomy outside, I just do my workout in the house, and I've done it for years and I just love it. So that's kind of where I stay motivated without having to go outside. And if I was in Auckland, 100% -8, I'll be inside doing my yoga and my training with the app. All right, so it's just about time to finish up. What do we got? Is there any words that you would like to say?
Well, let me just say the reason why I'm practicing is for Lisa, because wow, this woman can walk. So when we were in Singapore, we went to Universal Studios and I couldn't keep up with her. She's like walking everywhere. So I am doing my exercises so that I can keep up with Lisa when she comes in August.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank you. And so, and Pauline, finish off.
Regardless of the weather, make the best use of what we have. Like we can have indoors, we can have outdoors. We never know what is going to happen. But if we want to do it, I would just say, do whatever that will work for you. Be it just maybe even meditation. Yeah. So it need not be something that is high activity based, right? Probably during the time when there's seasonal change that we can't get out. And that time, maybe a meditation, right?
Yeah,
to
nice.
clear off the mind, maybe one of the best things to do. Yeah. This is where I would say make the best use of whatever that happens. That's my
Thank you. And I guess I'll finish with, if you are the person like myself that likes to, in say June or July, do a little bit of hibernating, it's okay. Be kind to yourself, because that stillness is actually you recalibrating for the rest of the year. So, okay, thank you everyone. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this podcast, to subscribe and like, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
Remember to share too. Bye.